And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to say the word sponge, and you guys are going to say the first word that pops into your head. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Sponge.
Sponge.
Yellow.
Sponge. That's mine.
I command you, as King of the Britons, to stand aside. I move for no man.
Hey, can I bring Anne?
Who?
Anne. You know, she's the girl I'm kind of hanging out with.
I haven't met him.
Yes, you had.
Michael had met Anne.
It's the Al Travis Show. We call it Clean Up in Aisle 9 or Yeah, but with Senator Susan Kent. When we went to the break, this is what I wanted to chat about because in reality, I think the Republicans can look at what happened yesterday and have a glimmer of hope. Let me oh, she makes the face. Don't make the face. It's radio. Let me make my case first, and you can. Okay. She says, "Oh, you crazy man." Here's the deal. So obviously, special elections in these primaries even are going to have many less people show up. But
always.
I was astounded with the Melissa Hortman's primary, which was yesterday. The Republican only had one, going to lose it anyway. But okay, so we got a person. 3 people ran on the Democratic side of the fence, and because in reality, this should be a gimme. I'm sorry, the Hortman seat's going to say Democratic, right? So I first off expecting many more people to want this thing. It's a House seat. You're going to get, do it. 3 people ran, but when you add up all the votes, less than 2,000 people showed up to vote.
Yeah.
Now, get it, it's a primary. I'm throwing all this out here,
right.
But you're never going to have a more top of mind primary than the Hortman seat, right? I mean, you had people going to the special election coverage on this stuff. So I was a little disappointed in that. And that being my case, if there's some apathy out there, when you get to the Mitchell seat, was the only thing the Republicans are hanging their hat on has a possibility. If that sort of low turnout shows up in those proportions, only 4,000, 6,000, get out of the way. I'm sorry. Anybody could win that. It's a coin flip at that point. And that's why I think the Republicans got a little bit of hope looking at the lackluster numbers from yesterday. Now give me the unfurled face and tell me why I'm wrong.
So I'm going to make a couple of little points, and then I'm going to talk about my big point. The little points are, summer primaries are a reality in Minnesota for a variety of reasons, and that's another thing I think we should try to figure out how to change. It's really hard to change, and we can talk about that in detail later.
Yeah.
Special elections, even without summer, are low turnout for sure. So you've got both of those things happening at the same time. That is a reality and a consideration. And I do like to point out, it is absolutely true to say that special elections are special. I can't remember exactly how many years ago it was. It would have been close to 10 years, maybe 8, I don't know. But longtime House member, tax chair Ann Linchesky from Bloomington retired from early midterm. And then there was a special election in Bloomington, which very reliably blew. And sure enough, in that special election, a Republican won for the rest of her term, which was less than a year or something. And then when the regular term came, within a year later, it went back to being blue. But so it does happen, is what I'm saying. Are
you possibly saying so far everything Al said might be true? It's correct. Is a good analogy. Is that what you just said?
I'm going to say something that may sound familiar to you. Yeah, but this is my bigger point. And it's so funny because I keep running up against this in different settings with Republicans. And I don't mean this in any, there's a disconnect. I'm not going to ascribe any sort of motives or value judgments or anything like that. It's a disconnect. I really think Republicans are misreading from the DFL standpoint of what a significant impact Melissa's assassination had. And then, of course, also the shooting of Senator Hoffman and his wife, and of course, Mark Hortman. This hits on so many levels. We've talked a little bit about this. When you lose somebody suddenly under any circumstances that are shocking and hard, they're too young, it's political, it's your workplace, it's your friends, it's your it hits on so many different levels. And what I'm seeing is a lot of Republicans just think or feel like it's time for business as usual. And what I'm seeing on a very human level and talking to people, the conversations they've had to have with their kids, who are asking, are we safe, mom? That kind of thing. And so my point about it with this thing is there are a lot of factors happening right now. I don't think this should be read as apathy, is my point.
Okay.
I think this reflects, we have to go through this process. We're going to go through this process. And as a marketer, I think you and I both sort of see the way consumers respond to something. Like, it's like if there is some friction there of why it's too hard I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to go run this errand. I don't want to do this thing I need to do, blah, 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 blah. Consumers figure out a way to avoid doing it. I feel the exact same way about voters. If they're not really into it for whatever reason, both sides of the aisle, I'm just a little busy that day. I got to work late. My kids got soccer, blah, blah, blah. They're just not they're going to figure out a way not to go totally subconsciously. So I just think it's complicated.
When I hear but I hear you completely agreeing with me. Here's why. Because I agree with you. And again, back to the Hortman seat. I don't care who runs. That seat's going to stay that way. I don't know how long the residuals of what happened will be a benefit is such a better, be statistically beneficial to the Democratic Party. Because I don't think that was always necessarily blue, but it is, and that's what it is. So
she ran. She won on her third try. So it was not reliably blue. Yeah.
So I on the other side, Anderson, who passed. You know what? That seat is just red as red's going to be, and it's going to. So that isn't in my point. But you are 100% correct. I think that incident with the Hoffmans and the Hortmans is going to have an effect on the Mitchell seat. And this is where I'm at. If you don't feel safe, if you're in this, what's going on? Because they haven't, I guess, given us a real reason why Knucklehead did what he did, right? I mean, says he's working for Wall. He's crazy $3 bill over there. Okay, I'm not, but we don't have that answer. So if it is, I need to be safer, I believe the Republican Party on safety, pro-police and the rest, gain a little. Then you look and say, okay, the reason we're even having this vote in Woodbury is because of something. Sorry, all Democrats get to hang together. A Democrat did and held to us for 15 months and embarrassed us. I think both those falls the Republicans' way. And you're what? How is that so wrong?
So it's it's the disconnect, right? I mean, these are different things. It's not the issue with Representative Hortman and DFLers right now is not fear. It's not that. I mean, there is an element of that. It's complicated, right? Because individuals definitely have had security concerns for themselves and their families and et cetera. But my point is there's a lot going on. And what I would say to just clarify on that part, when particularly in that race, but I think it holds for the bigger picture. Within a relatively low-key, not contentious DFL endorsement primary process, I think Democrats are not in a place to come after each other, right? I mean, so I think.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, okay, that'll get sorted out. Other people figure that out, and then I'll go vote when it matters. And I think then Democrats will show up. And I would say the same thing here. I mean, and I'm actually in the course of being there last night, and I'm going to find this really quickly. Yeah, in 2022, fractions are hard for me, but it looks like Nicole beat Dwight DeRoe, who is going to be running. He's the Republican candidate this time. She beat him in 2022 by 17 points.
Yes.
And he's not a bad candidate. I mean, he's actually a very good candidate, so you can't just say, oh yeah, she's whatever, so, I just like,
but she's gone. It depends who you put up now. And again, I would say, so the way this will play out is we had the endorsement last night and Amanda Hemmingsen Yeager got the endorsement on the first ballot. Okay. And she's on our A side, which is our easier to replace side. So just know that, so assuming she wins, it is a very strong DFL seat. I could probably get to that one. She won by 21 points in 2024, which was not
a universally great year for Democrats, right?
This is not
And-
going to sound good. This is not going to sound good. But Mitchell wins by 17 until she did freakish thing. Don't get me wrong. She fit your district. When I would interview, when I saw her, she was, a strong female presence in an outlying area, Woodbury, with 2 foster kids, and she's a servant. She was Woodbury. Now, I don't know this gal that's coming up. I will get to know her. This is all new ground. I think 70% is off the map. Woodbury goes back to where it was 2 cycles ago, which is a mix.
Woodbury has been trending since, like, I got elected, and the Democratic index, if you will, was 50.4, almost the exact same district, right?
Okay.
And so it has gotten bluer and bluer and bluer ever since. That is a solid, very real, not one-off trend, and that goes back to 2012. And so, the district is what the district is, and we can come back.
I got to go to break. Yes, I got to go. When do we come back? 2 things I like you to think about, because you're a marketing person, you've been in the business. As much as, like you say, the Democrats currently they have to play nice, just where we're at currently.
They want to play nice. They want to play nice too.
Well, I think everybody wants to play nice unless you think you get behind. And once you get a poll that says you're behind, you got to start doing other things. That's what the question on the other side. How long does playing nice last when we know who the Republican and the Democrat are, and now it's who can win? How crazy does this get in 2026? We'll talk about that with Senator Susan Kent right after this on Cleanup in Aisle 9, or but.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called DustLock. DustLock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with DustLock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is the guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 525-1052, 525-1052.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
Because I love her so much, Senator Susan Kent, I will start by being honest about my team on this. What I want to talk about is how long is it going to take for the gloves to come off? Because obviously we had a tragedy in Minnesota. There are people taking pledges. We're going to be the good guy. And I'm telling you, I pray that that's true. We try hard on this show to do it. But I will tell you, I feel that the Republican Party, after the last, let's go 4 years, know what it means to be on the bottom. It's frustrating. You don't get what you want. You feel like you're not heard. And their opportunity to change. What is with the face? The face. I don't make faces at you. I don't. I just hit. Sometimes it's when you make the face.
Are we living in the same country? Your president has federal.
Oh, not my president. I'm talking the state of Minnesota.
Okay,
I'm talking the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
They've been in the underdog. They feel like they haven't got. Now our face changes. Okay. My point being is they see what it's like to be the one dog under. You're only off by one, and we're not getting what we want. Woodbury is the one field of play that we have an opportunity. I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to hold back any ammo. And I'm not saying I'm proud of that. I'm saying the money's going to be fierce. There will be no one in Woodbury who doesn't know the date of the vote. And there will be, and I don't,
Right.
She voted this. She said this. This is going to, in my opinion, get bad from my side. I'm being honest with you. I'm not proud of that, but that's what's going to happen.
Hey, we're agreeing, Al.
Well, yeah, I didn't make ugly faces at you.
I'm the person who was a completely brand new candidate in 2012, back when everybody was still being relatively nice to each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any sort of record because I was a PTSO co-president. And they just made stuff up and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars attacking me and my community.
Well, that's going to be peanuts compared to what we're going to spend against them now.
Exactly. So I totally agree. I mean, it's, what I will absolutely back you up on is I'm not going to agree that Woodbury is necessarily, as you would describe it, necessarily in play. It is the closest thing that Republicans have to being in play. And so, so there's that. And I do think that unlike we're going to have the play nice thing within the DFL preliminaries in some cases, again, Minneapolis is not universal, right? So
no.
But and in this district, because of timing of a special election, I think the primary is August 26th, if I recall correctly.
I'd have to look it up. Yeah.
Right. And so because of that timing, and because this was as quickly as they could get the convention together, the date for either Ethan or Amanda to withdraw has already passed. So there will be a primary between the two of them, even though Amanda got endorsed. And so, we'll see how that goes. Well, we don't exactly know yet, but, the general on this one will be in November. There will be other things on the ballot, obviously.
Yep.
And so, I don't think it's not like it's a complete standalone special, but I do agree, Republicans will be coming into it. But I also know that, everything you look at, and you cannot just, I hear what you're saying about the situation in the state of Minnesota, but you can't separate out the national climate. And when you look at the ballot preferences for Congress and that sort of thing, the energy on the Democratic side is really high. They are very motivated. And I think that's going to apply to all of these special elections.
And don't disagree, except for I think in Minnesota, and I just from the outside looking in, the Democrats seem a little discombobulated in that, and ripping walls a little bit. If he had decided earlier, decided yes, no, indifferent, all the other dominoes could get in shape. And as we sit here today, I'm going to let you guys know as soon as and I don't think that helps your overall feel.
I'm just going to say on that one, because I don't disagree, but this goes back to the point of, I know there's a lot of this happening today. What is wrong?
You're making ugly faces while agreeing with me. I don't get it. Okay, I'll take it.
But, again, it goes back to this summer in general in Minnesota, is a big exception. Nobody wants to think about anything substantive. Yep. They want to be at the lake. And so this falls under that heading too. Also, Democrats still are emotionally really struggling in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
And certainly on the House side, they're figuring out how they're going to move forward. And in terms of leadership and everything, there's just a lot going on. And we cannot minimize personally what an impact this had on Tim Walz, the human being. And so it just is what it is. And
If that
you know.
sounded like a slam to him, it's
No,
not.
I
I'm
didn't-
just saying
no.
he is
Yeah.
holding up a lot of what could happen by not making a decision.
Right.
He wasn't going to do the funeral thing. I'm not ripping him. It's just trying to
And
say
I,
that.
and
Okay.
I want to be clear, I didn't hear you ripping him
Okay,
when you
okay.
said that. I'm just making, because again, I keep having these conversations with all kinds of Republicans who just literally are only thinking about it in the traditional political calculus and not factoring in this
I can see what you're saying.
this
All right.
this aspect of it. And I feel like when I talk to Democrats, there's just a lot of, we're giving each other grace. Everybody's figuring aspects of this out on their own, and we'll get there.
Fair
So it
enough.
does feel
We're out of
discombobulated. Yeah.
we're out of time, and I appreciate you a ton. I love when you agree with me. Somebody marked the show. It's got to be the first time, multiple times you actually said yes. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you
Say it
being
all
on the
the
program.
time.
And is appreciation a feeling that might be the second feeling, third feeling? I did appreciate that you. Is that a
Nice.
feeling?
It's nice.
Nice.
It's appreciation, gratitude. I think I'm
See,
gonna
now
call
you're stressed. Now you're
appreciation.
making up words. I got to
I'm
fly. We're out
putting
of time.
appreciation.
See you, Senator Susan Kent on the Al Travis Show.